Today, we're heading deep into the Alaskan wilderness. But we're not just here to retell some spooky campfire stories. Oh no. We're going to break down four really unsettling accounts to figure out the mechanics of fear itself. What makes these stories get under your skin, and what do they say about our own deepest anxieties?
And this is where it all starts, right? It's this deep, fundamental desire to get away from it all, to escape the noise, the screens, the chatter, and just find some peace and quiet in the middle of nowhere. It's something I think we can all relate to, that search for a place where you can finally be alone. And right there, that's the pivot. That's where the horror creeps in. The very thing these campers were looking for, total solitude, becomes the source of their terror. Suddenly, the quiet doesn't feel empty anymore. It feels, it feels like it's paying attention.
Okay, so first things first, we have to talk about the setting, because in these stories, the Alaskan wilderness isn't just some pretty backdrop. It's basically a character in its own right. Its sheer size and its overwhelming quiet create the perfect stage to make the human mind feel incredibly small and vulnerable. This is where the whole psychological game begins. When you're out there with absolutely no one around, no cell service, none of the usual sounds of life, your senses just go into overdrive. Every snap of a twig, every rustle of leaves isn't just a squirrel anymore. It could be anything. That silence becomes this giant, blank canvas for your brain to paint its worst fears on.
So how does this feeling of dread actually start to build? Well, it never starts with a monster jumping out from behind a tree. No, it's way more subtle than that. It begins with these tiny little details that just don't add up, things that feel wrong, and start to plant that little seed of doubt that makes the campers wonder if they're losing their minds. And you see the pattern here, right? None of these things on their own are all that scary. A pile of rocks, a dead phone, but when you're completely isolated, they become so unsettling because you can't logically explain them. It implies that something or someone is messing with you in a place where there should be absolutely no one.
And then you get something like this, which just takes the unease to a whole other level. One hiker finds an old journal, and he's reading about a confusion that happened decades ago that perfectly mirrors what he's feeling right now. It suggests that this feeling of being watched isn't new. It's been happening here for a long, long time.
Okay, this is a major turning point. The whole narrative shifts. It's no longer about questioning strange objects or weird occurrences. It escalates to that chilling, undeniable feeling that you are being observed by something intelligent, something that's hiding just out of sight. Now we're talking about a full-on assault on the senses. It's not just a bad feeling anymore. It's seeing a figure that has no business being there. It's hearing 3 distinct knocks that sound like a signal, not some random animal. And then, the ultimate violation, hearing something breathing slowly and deliberately, just inches from your head with only a thin sheet of nylon between you. And this is the moment. This is when all the doubt, all the attempts to rationalize what's happening, just get completely obliterated by cold, hard, terrifying proof. This is the point of no return, where the only option left is to run. I mean, just look at this. This is one of the most chilling pieces of evidence you could find. It's not just a weird footprint, it's the sheer impossibility of it. You've got the hiker's normal boot print right there, and then you've got this, a single, bare, oversized human footprint. And the real kicker? There are no other tracks. None leading to it, none leading away. It's a physical paradox that just screams that something deeply unnatural is going on. And the proof just keeps piling up. A tent slashed with a single, clean cut. A private journal with a brand new handwritten message. You stayed. A phone that isn't just broken, but wiped clean and then stood up perfectly in the snow. I mean, come on, these aren't random acts of nature. This is calculated, it's intelligent, and it is incredibly menacing.
So let's put all the pieces together. What exactly is the threat that seems to weave through all of these stories? If we look at the common threads, we can start to build a kind of profile of what makes these encounters so uniquely terrifying.
At the end of the day, this isn't about cheap jump scares. The horror works so well because it completely bypasses our logical brains and talks directly to our oldest, most primal instincts. That deep, instinctual fear of being hunted by a predator you can't see and can't possibly understand, that's baked right into our DNA. And when you look at its methods, a picture starts to form. It almost never uses direct violence. Instead, it plays these psychological games, moving things, leaving impossible clues,
carefully covering its tracks. And the scariest part? There's no clear motive. It doesn't seem like a monster just trying to kill. It feels more like some kind of intelligence that's just testing you, observing you, an entity that wants you to know it's there, but never wants you to understand it.
And that's really what we're left with, isn't it? The campers get away, sure, but the experience changes them forever. The stories might end, but the questions just linger. After you've had an encounter like that, where the fundamental rules of reality seem to just break, you have to wonder, does that